Well, welcome back to another episode of the wonderful The Arsenio's High Performance Coaching Podcast. I'm your host as always, and today, big, and I'm going to be a little bit negative right now. Fuck you to ETS. So apparently, and guys, I don't get on YouTube. I don't post on YouTube. I just post my podcasts on there. I'm doing a whole rebrand because obviously high performance coaching is the other way to go. And I'm going to be going over some amazing journal topics to help me with clarification before going into the next phase. Now, I have not gotten any new students in more than 2 months, nor do I even particularly care to coach in TOEFL anymore. And most importantly, it's incredible because I think this past weekend, right before the holidays, one of the deans of a university out here came by our house, who just lives 2 houses down, and said, "Hey, I would like you to help me with the test and please teach my sons in English." So they speak 3 languages. They speak Arabic, Thai, and English. And I picked up 2 to 3 new students. And so I said to myself, I said, see, this is what I was looking for to begin with, to get some added income along with what the beautiful salary that I'm getting and will get at the end of this month, right? But nonetheless, let's get back to the copyright. I don't know what happened. I didn't get any emails. I didn't get anything. I clicked on some notifications and it said, I got a copyright strike. I said, what? A copyright? I don't use no music. I don't use anything. What the hell is this? So I went to it and it was some white motherfucker. Okay, no offense to white people, but it was a white motherfucker from ETS from a video that I posted right around Thanksgiving of 2023 on the old test. And it was something about animal behavior. And I'm not exactly sure which site it was from. I don't remember using Test Glider at that time. I didn't start using Test Glider until a little bit later. But this was ETS that did this copyright. And again, I could have hurried up and deleted the video. I didn't even know that I had a copyright strike. But then my YouTube channel got a strike. And I said, hold on, what the fuck? So I asked myself, I said, okay, Arsenio, what's the next right best action of integrity? I could blame a motherfucker at ETS. I knew that they were going to come after me at some point because I've been calling them Indian scammers. Okay. Now, again, based on the name of that Gmail, can I email him back and say, hey, motherfucker, blah, 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 blah. I don't give a damn, to be honest with you, because I don't use YouTube to upload anything anymore. I'm rebranding myself in its entirety. The last time I got a student from YouTube probably was about 2 to 4 years ago. The people that follow me from YouTube to Instagram, they are time wasters, and then they end up unfollowing me within like 48 hours. So I can really give a fuck because I don't post TOEFL anymore. But then I said to myself, okay, what's the next right action, of integrity? Let me delete all those videos from whichever websites, da 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 da. But then I stopped and said, isn't there a way that I could just like put all my videos to private? Sure enough, it was. I was going to go segment by segment in like 5,000 videos and say, okay, click this, 50 videos, click this, 50 videos. No, one click actually made all my videos hidden. So in retrospect, I'm actually very surprised that it took this long for someone to submit, a copyright. That's number one. Number two, it's funny how it's a white motherfucker from ETS. I'm like, okay, where's the Indian name? Unless it's an Indian doing that. And why is it from 2023? That test has completely expired. And it's ETS that submitted that. And I'm like, hold on, can you submit it through the website? Because it's the website that I used. You said it's your content, but what is it from? So I hurry up and submitted a counter strike. I did some bullshit ass copyright school. And then next thing you know, it says, okay, your strike's going to expire in 86 days and you won't get, we'll just remove it. And I'm like, okay, whatever. At the same time, I'm like, you know what? I put all my videos private. In the next 2 years, I will delete a specific amount of those videos, and then I'll probably put them public again, but in 2 years. Now, again, will I make a channel on YouTube and talk about personal development, this and that? No, I got my podcast for that. And YouTube, again, because the dead internet theory is in full swing, the majority of comments on YouTube, probably like 60% of them are all bots. Now I had some amazing comments and stuff like that, but at the same time, I'm just like, you know what? No, on to the next phase. I also deleted my Instagram, Arsenio's ESL podcast. I opened that up probably March of 2024 after bullshit ass Mark Zuckerberg tried, deleted my shit, and he suspended one account, which I never got back. But I'm like, okay, you know what? Fuck all this. I'm going to hurry up and get rid of all this bullshit. So that's exactly what I did. And so going back to it, I'm like, okay, let me delete this. Okay, on Facebook, I have one friend, and it's literally my wife. That's right. I removed my mother. That's a long story. We'll talk about that another day. Uh, I'm just like, I have literally one Instagram, private, 11 followers. That's it. 11. Do I post to Instagram? Nope. Do I get on Instagram? Nope. I really don't engage with social media much. And especially over the last 3 days with my wife being home because of some kind of holidays, I looked at it and said, you know what? I left my phone upstairs the entire day. I did not check it or anything because I knew Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, nobody was going to be contacting me from work anyways. Okay, I'll look back at my phone at some point, but at the same time, I'm just like, I don't really care about Instagram and social media at the moment. There are much bigger things and much greater successes and things that I'm reaching towards that I care about at this moment. Now, at some point, am I going to create that personal development Instagram? Sure. When I create it, am I going to post a link down below? Sure. But it's just that transition phase. So regardless of the copyright, big fuck you again to ETS and you sorry pieces of shit that actually work in ETS and scammed everyone, yet you're copyrighting me, but you should copyright yourself for being a fucking inhumane parasite to society. Who cares? But then I just had to like, throughout the break, I said, okay, Arsenio, it's time for this next phase to come. You just got the dean of a university who's like, Arsenio, man, if you want to start your master's, man, okay, just let me know. I got everything handled. I got this, I got that. I'm like, oh my God, this is so amazing. And it just makes me show that I needed to just create some journal prompts and figure them out so I could transition into this. So what this podcast is about, after that full-on rant, fuck those people, that's the past. I don't care about the past. It's about when you go through a transition phase, you need to give yourself a couple of hours and ask yourself some questions where you could get that clarity. And that's exactly what I did today. And so let's check this out. Number one, what did TOEFL teach me that I am going to carry into my next chapter? Well, structured results, okay, driven lessons. I'm talking about clear outcomes, precision, being very specific about what I need to develop in everything. That's number one. Diagnosing weaknesses fast. You know, I've coached under pressure in so many different ways, man. I've had, again, looking back at all my students, I think I only have about 3-ish students left. 3-ish. One guy from Iraq, one guy from Cuba, and another woman from last year, but a lot of the other people have not contacted me. And because I deleted their Instagram, if they want to contact me, they have my WhatsApp number. But those are the last 3 students. And I say that because throughout these years, the pressure was unbelievable. But at the same time, I built those systems and I built those courses over the span of 7 years in terms of the courses, the recordings, the frameworks, you name it. How to sell and communicate value globally. That's another massive thing. My first ever course buy was from a Mexican woman and from Mexico City. I think this was in May, probably around my birthday, May of 2011. I said, my God, I just made money from someone who follows me on TOEIC and on my podcast. That was one beautiful thing. I'm like, man, I'm not losing TOEFL skills. I'm kind of like, it's kind of like a redeploy into something that's deeper, more human work. I want something that goes deep into the human psyche, right? And that's what led me into number 2. If I never teach TOEFL again, what identity would I step into? It's not so much about, okay, I'm going to help you pass this test. Okay, your goals are my goals. Okay, this, okay, that. It's more about, you know what? I'm going to help you speak, think, and show up powerfully in life. I'm going from a test preparation coach into someone who's more of an identity building coach. And so then I went back to what just happened over the last week. And I'm like, well, damn, this guy just came out of nowhere. And guess what? In 1 fucking hour, I helped him pass a test. And then he submitted it to the president of the university. And he was so happy. And I was like, dude, I just changed this guy's life. But at the same time, that was just going from A to B. Remember, this is kind of like, you know, results driven. But now it's like, you know what? How can I build this person into? So what kind of teacher coach do I want to be known as in my neighborhood. See, well, the thing is, I want to be that person who builds confident speakers, okay? Not quiet learners. Case in point, over the last month, had two 16-year-olds, quiet as hell. Had a guy, I think he's an electrical engineer, someone who's working in one of the big mass transit systems out here in Bangkok, and then a married couple. And the previous teacher, they did not speak, three of them, the two 16-year-olds and that guy, about 30 plus years old. And then next thing you know, only within, I would say, 20 hours, 1 month, they now speak unbelievably. The follow-up questions, you name it. See, that's me saying, you know what, fuck grammar, fuck all this, let me build confidence within them. And the only way to do that is to ignore the bullshit, ignore the semantics, the phonology, all that shit that the English language, you got ChatGPT, that shit can help you in 2 seconds. What can I do as a teacher? Because you know what? These teachers who just teach grammar, man, you're going to be out of a job real soon because people get all that information very quickly on these AI sources. What can I bring to the table that AI cannot bring? Confident speakers. Creating real conversation at home, at work, or wherever. Helping families be able to grow together. Like these three that I'm going to be teaching at one time, not just individually. So that reputation comes, if you want real change, you go to that man right there. The number 4, why does working locally feel more meaningful than online? Right? And so this is one of the big questions. I'm like, man, well, I just helped this guy. I just picked up some students, man. I haven't had, personal students like this in more than 2 years. That was the student that I had taught at the previous language center, all these things. I'm like, wow, what happened? Like, what was the energy shift? Well, first and foremost, teaching locally, I see the impact based on their faces, the progress, and especially the family dynamics, which is coming real soon. I build the trust and the continuity, and people don't disappear. See, that's one thing. That's a real short story. That's one thing about TOEFL, man. I think over the last probably 3 months, whether it's a fucking Haryana or a Juliet or all these other motherfuckers that I used to teach back in the day, just unfollow. Some of them had, hours left. And I'm like, okay, goodbye, don't care. They just give up on themselves. It's so transactional. It's so like disposable. Low loyalty. Only 2 people had remained. And it's a dentist in residency right now, I believe at USC. And then there was another girl by the name of Marjorie. I think she's out there in the northeast part of the United States. Those were the only 2 real committed. Oh, and Danny DeVilla, of course, she got accepted into Columbia. So big shout out to you 3. I highly doubt that they listen to my podcast. But big shout out to those 3 because that's loyalty. Very difficult to build loyalty. Even that family that visited me last March, they're now gone. Never contacted me again after August. Hell, I'm so grateful because the Koreans still listen to me. 2 of the 3 Koreans. Of course, the other daughter went off to Japan and she's learning out there things, of course, in development and, academics. That's all important first. But that loyalty right there, knowing that 3 of those 5 are literally on my Instagram or on my WhatsApp, goes to show that I did something more meaningfully powerful. That's what really matters to me, which went into the next one. And this is more about like setting up systems throughout the week to be able to get that end goal. What would a dream week of teaching look like for me 1 year from now? 4 to 6 families, not dozens of random students like TOEFL. Consistent weekly sessions. That's predictable income. That's why I switched my job. And thank God in 13 days, everything's good. Nonetheless, I was able to make quite a bit of money out here. And tomorrow, and I'm like, wow, okay, got myself a little bit of dinero. I'm very happy about that. The high engagement, the high speaking, the real transformation, which I'm doing at my job right now. The increase in student talking time, STT to 80%. And then maybe having 1 to 2 premium clients. Professionals like the dean, whereas he needs to go into public speaking or he needs to do this or do that or check some writing. He's going to say, hey, listen, if I ever have this or this or that or this or that, I'm going to pay you on top of that. I'm like, see, that's a man that knows how to do business. See, with a man with integrity, like he says, I need this. Okay, see you at this time. He even gave me a super bonus based on what I had helped him with in regards to that 30 minutes. And then he passed the test. See, I like people who hold themselves true to the word. And a lot of sorry ass things will say, oh, well, you canceled or, you moved this session or you moved that session. Everyone moves sessions. And guess what? Right after they do that, boom, they unfollow me and all that shit happens. I'm done with that. I am done with that phase of my life. I don't have to chase. I don't have to worry about the marketing stress. It's all referrals plus reputation. In this neighborhood where there are doctors and business owners, where there are people that are unbelievably rich, I'm like, oh boy, got myself a doctor right over here. All right, I call them the weirdos to the right. We got another dean over here of one university. On the side of him is the one that I just picked up. Across the street, they're gone. But me just building up that reputation slowly and being the beacon of light, whereas I attract the beautiful tribe. Not trying to push, but attracting the beautiful tribe. I'm going to remember the previous podcast. One guy on, on my Line application, messaged me out of nowhere, sent me an email. I gave him the resources. I tried hustling him, said, hey, man, if you need some help with IELTS, just let me know. He never read my last message. I'm like, oh, how much do you have to pay there, this, that? Never read it. In 3 days, I got removed from that IELTS group, from that bullshit ass, the company that I worked at, January 3rd and 4th of this year. So all I can assume is, ooh, was he the one that probably showed some staff or said something to somebody saying, oh, Arsenio's trying to get me to learn privately with him. Oh, although I already sent him the resources and stuff. I'm like, okay, I got you. That's cool. So me, I'm just like, okay, delete, block, delete, block, delete. Not as a way of giving me power back, but saying loyalty. I got loyalty inside my DNA. If you're doing that behind my back after what I gave you and me offering assistance and you probably having to take another year plus, and I hope you do, in terms of studying IELTS just randomly all over the place and not having set systems in place, you're not my tribe. Get the fuck out of here. You're not part of the herd. That's okay. But at the same time, it's always good. I'm walking into every session now energized and not being drained. So how can I turn this specific family into a referral ecosystem? Well, got to deliver that exceptional visible progress updates, small wins he can feel, and again, plant those seeds. If you know any other families who would want this kind of learning, hell, he's a dean of the university. He knows a lot of folks. It could be literally anything. You got to build that trust first, and the referrals come second. And that one strong family could equal 3 to 5 more families. That's the entire business model right here. And what those boundaries are, what boundaries am I going to set and never return to draining work again? One-off short-term students, no more. Even if I were to get TOEFL students, which is extremely rare because I deleted this. I'm no longer posting this. I hid all my videos to private on YouTube to avoid getting strikes for at least 2 years. I'm just like, you know what? Let me just wick away all this bullshit in terms of who I used to be and let me build something else. Let me get my head right and let me start doing things. To be honest with you, Instagram is probably the biggest one anyways. Instagram is the biggest platform anyways, because I got a ridiculous amount of students from Instagram and I can't even fathom the hundreds of thousands of dollars I made from Instagram based on referrals. But you know what? Those one-off short-term students that, hey, I need a couple classes. I need this. I need that. People who disappear, people who ghost. Yeah, ghosting was a big thing for the last 7 years. Teaching just for money. That's one thing I don't want to do anymore. And platforms where you chase attention like YouTube. So instead, long-term only. Like he said, Arsenio, we're probably going to learn for 6 months to a year, even plus. Clear commitment. Okay, money. Got it. Respect my time and energy. You protect your energy like it's your business asset because it is. Have you guys ever had those friends where they didn't so much like, respect your time and then they double book or they say, okay, all right, so it's confirmed. We're going to be meeting up on this day. And then they ghost for about 72 hours. And then they come within the last 24 hours to say, okay, great, 12 p.m. But, teachers at this place, they're going to be coming together and, they're going to be, going to, the water festival. And I'm like, wait, I was going to, what if I bought all the ingredients and I was ready to go to have the most amazing barbecue ever? And you said, I'm only going to be there for 4 hours. And then I'm going to leave and go meet up with colleagues who I absolutely do not like. I'm just like, you know what? Nah, I can't do it. Can't do it. It's boundaries. It was the other teacher. Said the same thing to him too. Both from the same country. Not that that matters, but just looking and saying, hey, okay, what time are you going to be here? Okay, I'll be there like 4:35. He came at 7:30. I'm like, bro, you're lucky I just don't say, hey, don't even bother coming. Don't even bother coming. And I realized, like, after he left and stuff, my wife was like, oh, he's really nice and this and that. I'm like, yeah, he's never going to come back over. Why? He does not respect time. Oh, she said, you know what? I agree with that. He came like 3 hours late. And then he was only here until like 10 or 10:30. But it's funny because the other ones that came that exact day later, I think it was like April 6th of last year, they came on time. And they stayed from, I believe, 11 a.m. all the way up to about a 7:30. No, 6:30 to 7. Because they respect time. And that was one of the biggest blasts we ever had. And I was like, see, that's the type of tribe I want to have around. So those ones are invited to the baby shower. But the other two, who I informally invited to the baby shower, nah, that's tier 3 people. And to be honest with you, well, it depends what's going to happen between now and then. Not really investing into those types of relationships and stuff anymore. But me, I'm just like, you know what? Nah. So I want you to really audit who is draining you, or who do you need to set boundaries on because they have consistently led you astray. Number 8, 3 more. What does impact actually look like for you? That's one thing that I wrote down for me. It's not the number of students. It's not the number of course sales. It's more about that father, that dean speaking confidently in meetings and public speaking. His sons becoming more articulate and expressive. Families communicating more at home. See, impact is that visible life change, not the invisible transactions, not just the money here, the money here, the money here. So many of those students who paid me money over the, over the last, 7 years here in Thailand, it was just transactional. They didn't have no real meaning. It's like, dude, what the fuck do you really, really want? I just want to learn English. Next thing you know, after 3 hours, 3 hours, they're gone. In Thailand, there is an unspoken code in terms of never asking back for money. And that's what I really, really love about Thai people. I've never had that happen with any Thai people since living here. They've never asked back for their money. But online, when they don't hold up their end of the bargain and they disappear for a month, they try coming back and getting their money back. Had some Venezuelan students do that. And I'm just like, you know what? Nah, you're permanent. I'm permanently unavailable to you. No way. Going into the second to last, if fear, let's say racism, rejection, judgment, who cares, didn't exist, what would I build locally? Now, remember, you guys already know my whole upbringing out here. 13 years living in this country. I love the country. Lots of individuals who I attracted at that specific era of my life were very toxic. See, I could build myself into a premium neighborhood learning hub. I really can. Based on the people who are hungry. Now, remember, this is a Muslim Thai teacher. His values are totally different from Thai Buddhist. Thai Muslims are very different from Thai Buddhists. They hold up their end of the bargain. They do not bullshit. They do not beat around the bush. They get things done. If they need it, if they want it, they get it. The other ones who do not have those aligned values, they end up they're predisposed over here. They're kind of like leaves on a tree. One day they blow this way. The other way they blow this way. Next thing you know, they just wither off and die. Boom. But me, I want to become that premium learning hub. So I'm talking about the small group sessions, families, teams, professionals, maybe. Reputation-based system, not ads, just referrals and results. Maybe even some workshops, speaking clubs. That'll be good. Community-based English plus confidence training. I'm not playing small. I'm more than just, I'd have my own space, building my own network locally. And this last one, the next version. What is the next version of my business? And what is it trying to become? So if I were to go over all those last 9 questions, I wrote down high trust, high impact, referral based, local coaching system or ecosystem. Not online courses, fuck all that. Not random ass students, no thank you. Not unpredictable income, I'm done with that shit. December and January, boom, 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 just started getting big high time paying clients right there. I'm like, woo! February, massive drop off. Then I just had a bunch of liars. One guy, okay, I'm going to pay you 80. One guy, I'm going to pay you 100. One girl, okay, I'm going to pay 140. Another girl, okay, I want 4 classes. This girl contacts me every 6 weeks. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I'm done with you. I'm done with y'all. I'm done with all y'all. We done with it. I'm done with it. I want people who are ready. And not only that, if someone comes to me and says, hey, do you teach TOEFL? I'm going to look at my schedule and ask myself, short-term economics, or do I want to protect my energy and not teach something that not only the whole bullshit strike thing from a random ass peck, at fucking garbage ass ETS. Fuck all that. Fuck all that. I'm talking about what? If this person comes into my life, they come and go. What is really the outcome? I had students like Melly, Kostya, Hadiana. I don't know what the fuck happened to her. She had 3 hours left, and she had an additional 5 free hours. Next, she just unfollows me after 3 months. And I'm like, okay, bye. Done with all that shit. Get the fuck out of here. I'm done with that garbage. So I look back and I say, nah, man, no more of that. And I'm hoping that I don't get anyone, because I do not like teaching TOEFL in the morning or anymore. It is a complete and utter waste of time. I hate it because it just seems like I've already outgrown that. I want something that's more stable, more meaningful, growing through relationships, which is absolutely pivotal and pinnacle to who I am as an individual. I'm shifting from global, I'm kind of shifting from global, but shallow because of relationships, to local, but powerful. From volume, lack of volume, to value. From teaching English or teaching how to pass a test and, just a very fabricated system, get some short-term economics to disappear, to changing lives through income, changing lives through English, changing lives through confidence building. That's exactly what my next step is. So yeah, big fuck you to ETS. Fuck the strike. Fuck all those assholes working at ETS. Kiss my motherfucking ass. I highly doubt that they're listening to this. And I say that with no anger. Just like, man, get the fuck out of here. You guys really think, a strike on a fucking platform that I do not use for like mask? No, thank you. YouTube has done absolutely nothing for me. Although it was big back in 2019 when there were actually real humans on there. It's bot central with a lot of nasty ass Americans posting bullshit in my comments. I took the comments away and then I said, let me put all my videos on private for a couple of years, or until when I give a fuck. Facebook, trash. IG, staying away for at least 2 months. I go on YouTube to listen to jazz, to listen to my melodies and all that other stuff. But other than that, there is no interaction on there. I'm building my community locally and powerfully. I'm good on the scale, and I've already been there. I've already done that. And then when I start doing the high performance and the transformation coaching, I might go on to YouTube. I don't know. Let's see. Instagram is definitely the bigger one. But me, the whole rebrand, this might happen way, way later. So to be honest with you, I'm over that entire area of my life, and I'm building into something that I really want to transform into, especially for my family, my soon-to-be baby boy, and so many other things in the conversations I have and the people I deal with on a consistent basis every single day. So your thing is, and your goal is to figure out those journal topics and to speak about it and to figure out what your next right action of integrity and the big step that you're going to take for the next quarter. Over and out.